Today I'm going to show you how you can take your sales history data, what to look for, and reverse engineer so that you can hit your monthly profit goals instead of just working hard and hoping for the best. In order to hit your profit goals, you need to know how much you have to achieve in sales. And in order to understand how much you have to achieve in sales, you need to know how much you have to spend on inventory. So the first step is to look at our historical sales data. So I am just going to throw out some numbers that I'm making up. Let's say over the course of the last 3 months, I have averaged $25,000 a month in sales, $10,000 a month on cost of goods sold, and I've operated at a 20% profit margin, okay? So what I'm going to do is take my average monthly sales of $25,000. I am going to divide that by my cost of goods sold, which is $10,000, and that equals a number that is 2.5. Let's call that the multiplier, okay? So that means for every $1 I spent on goods, my sales were 2.5 times that. Like for this example, $10,000 a month on cost of goods sold equated to $25,000 a month in sales. 10,000 times 2.5 equals 25,000. So we're gonna hang on to that multiplier and show you why that's valuable moving on in the next step where I give you a real life profit projection goal. Okay, so let's say that for the last couple months, maybe we've been operating at $5,000 profit, we've really learned Amazon and we want to scale up, okay? Our goal is gonna be $10,000 a month profit. And using our sale history, we're going to assume that we're going to stay at a 20% profit margin, okay? So now we're trying to understand, what do our sales have to be at our 20% profit margin to achieve our goal of $10,000 profit? So a simple equation is sales times profit margin equals total profit, okay? So we have 2/3 of those. We have the 20% profit margin, we have the $10,000 profit goal. So that means what in sales times 20% equals $10,000? And that answer is $50,000 because $50,000 times 20% profit margin equals our profit goal of $10,000, just to be crystal clear. So that answers the total sales we have to do question. Now the question turns to how much do we have to spend on inventory or cost of goods sold in order to achieve that $50,000 sales? And that's where we come back to that 2.5 multiplier, because the next equation is cost of goods sold times 2.5 equals total sales, which is $50,000. So the answer is $20,000 because 20,000 times 2.5 equals our $50,000 in sales that we just talked about. Now let's say you're a new Amazon seller. You don't have a tremendous amount of sales history data, but you do want to set a goal for yourself. So let's say you want to set a goal of $2,000 profit per month, okay? And let's just say that you're going to operate at 20% profit margin. I feel like that's a very, very realistic, good number to use, especially if you're beginning. If you want to be ultra conservative, you can reduce that, all right? So total sales is what we need to figure out, and total sales times 20% profit margin equals $2,000 in profit. Therefore, the total sales has to equal $10,000 in sales a month in order to reach our goal at that profit margin. So the next part is, how much do we have to spend on our goods in order to achieve that $10,000 in sales? So if you remember, once again, we're going to use that 2.5 as the multiplier. So cost of goods sold times 2.5 equals our total sales of $10,000. Therefore, cost of goods sold, how much you have to spend on inventory that month, is $4,000. I do want to mention the 2.5 multiplier is specific to today's example. It's not just a one set number that you can plug in for any equation. Some people have to spend way more money on inventory to achieve $25,000 in sales, and some people can spend way less to achieve $25,000 in sales. And naturally, that will affect that number because everybody's profit margin will be different. So just know that is unique to today's examples. By the way, do you ever wonder why Amazon sellers online will talk about how much their spending goals are? Because I remember being a new seller and thinking, why are you talking about your spend? Shouldn't it be how much you make? But what happens is when you do this long enough and you scale, your profit margin is pretty consistent unless something drastically changes. So it's just reverse engineering. If I know my profit margin and I know my profit goals, Just like today, I just need to figure out how much I have to spend on inventory to reach my sales goals. To take it a step further, I would even suggest that now, instead of just saying I need to spend this much in a month, maybe break it down to I need to spend this much every week or this much every day. Everybody works on Amazon differently, but ultimately it just comes down to creating actionable, measurable goals. So I hope you guys got some value out of this. I know that I needed this for myself months ago, and it's really helped me to be able to track how much I'm spending in order to achieve my goals. I'm Jonathan, Duke Does Amazon. We're on Instagram. Comments, questions, topics, put them below, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for being here.